going to talk a little bit about the conference that I went to in Cincinnati. And sometimes you go to those conferences and you just feel like, oh, this was kind of a waste of my time. You don't really walk away with anything. But this one I thought was excellent and was very timely in terms of a discussion that we've been having here with the staff. And you kind of saw what I outlined there on my report, that, it's always a good idea to go back and revisit your philosophy. I don't care if you've been in existence for 50 years or you've been in existence for 60 years. You need to keep always reviewing and refreshing and looking at your vision and mission statement and measuring your performance against that. And so it was interesting to find when I went to Cincinnati, there were 2 conference sessions. One was on Montessori research, and the other one was on back to the basics. And the Montessori research one was talking about the different findings and why there may be some inconsistency in the findings. And they were really saying that the reason that they believe that is related to Montessori fidelity. And, the teachers who are really faithful to the materials typically are the ones who are faithful to all the components of the philosophy, and those are the ones that you really see the results and the gains from the kids. The others who have had a little tendency to maybe slide off track or get off track and aren't as faithful to those materials and the philosophy are the ones you don't see obviously the greatest gains. So we were talking about today one research study, which was a small research study, no doubt, but it was about 4 Montessori classrooms where they took, in 3 of those classrooms, they took all the non-essential Montessori materials out. So talking about all of the materials that have not been researched by Maria Montessori herself, that have kind of been added into the environments, they took those out. And then they left a classroom with all those non-essential things, and they tested those kids in a pre-test and a post-test. And they found that the children who were in those classrooms or in that classroom with only the Montessori materials had the highest gains of all of the children who were assessed. So I'm pretty excited because as we get ready to transition the school in the next few years, we really are going back and talking about the basics and talking about what are all those core components of the curriculum and the philosophy, and where do we stand on all of those kinds of things, and are there some areas where we're off track that we need to get refocused, and are there some things that we feel like we're right where we need to be. And so I had found, well, let me back up a little bit. I had asked the teachers to kind of do some self-reflection, and as a part of their evaluation process for this year, to look at that list that we generated and pick 2 and do some self-reflection on where do they stand on those components, and write some specific goals for themselves. And so we have done that, and so I had found a document that was written probably back in the day of Sister Marcia and Sister Cletus, so they had to be at least 20 years ago, if not longer, where they had kind of said, where do they want to be within the next 5 to 10 years? And what they had written as a staff was that they wanted to be a Montessori school filled with many trainers, not many M-I-N-I, but M-A-N-Y, with many trainers. And so I started thinking a little bit about that, about how really we've got the expertise right here. We really don't need to be calling in all these outside resources. I really don't need to be doing the training myself for the staff, although I'm willing to support it. But we really have the people here who should be leading our new up-and-coming teachers. So that's our professional development plan for next year, is at every staff meeting, we're going to be revisiting some of those topics that they felt like were the highest priority, and the teachers will be training the teachers. So I'm excited about that. I don't know, Joan or Lee or Betty, if you have anything you want to say about that and the outcome of the past 2 meetings that we've had.
No, I think that I agree with you.